Hey, what's going on, NavalX community? Mohawk Matt here, and I'm super excited today because I actually get to do a quick chat with my executive director. As a lot of you know, I am on rotation to NavalX from NAWCWD, and today I actually get to highlight what NAWCWD is, and to help me do that, I've actually got Miss Joan Johnson. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you today, Matt?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day. The humidity's down to like 70%, so it's nice. So Joan Johnson, she is the executive director for Naval Air Warfare Center Weapons Division. And I'm going to let her kind of explain who they are, where they are, and what they do. So JJ, over to you.
All right. Thanks, Matt. And thanks so much for doing this. I just think this is awesome. It's a great way to reach out virtually to people. So I'll give you a little bit of background. Hopefully it's not cut and dry because this place really is anything but that. So, what I'll tell people is Naval Air Warfare Center Weapons Division, I'm going to call it NAWCWD easier. Um, we're a Navy lab. First and foremost, that's really what we are. In terms of, where we fit into the big Navy picture, we're an Echelon 3 command. We're aligned to NAVAIR. Many people are probably familiar with NOC Aircraft Division, which is headquartered at Pax River. So that's our sister warfare center. So the two of us, AD and WD, really make up Naval Aviation's warfare centers. NOC-WD has been in existence for more than 75 years now. When you go back to our heritage, we really started with the conceptualization and development and test of air-launched and surface-launched weapons. But over the decades, really, our mission has expanded significantly to mirror the complexity of weapons systems integrated into the battle space and the disruptive technologies that we must develop to improve warfighter lethality. If you look more specifically, our expertise lies in areas of electronic warfare, air wing integration and interoperability, targeting for weapons, and of course, kinetic effects, which really is the weapon. We span the full spectrum of research, development, test, and evaluation life cycle. From a cultural perspective, which I think, every one of the warfare centers, we have our own really cool, unique culture. WD's cultural strength, at least from my perspective, really lies in it's a very much get or done type workforce here. So that ability to apply critical thinking and innovation is important. Having the technical know-how in the mission context is important. And then what really brings it all together is that we've got a culture that really understands and embraces a sense of urgency to solve those hard problems for the warfighter.
That's excellent. That's incredible. And I really like what you said about that get her done mentality. And coming from WD, obviously I may have a little bias, but my experience here through NavalX, I've been able to see a lot of the warfare centers and talk to a lot of them, and they all do incredible, amazing things. But it's been really kind of it makes my insides excited and tickle when someone says, "Oh, you're from China Lake? Oh, they do. That's so cool. I went there one time and it was super hot, but they did some really cool stuff."
Hey, it's only going to be 108 today. It's actually, we got a cooling
Oh,
trend going on. So,
oh,
but,
that's nice. That's sunbathing weather. That's great.
but it's perfect at Point Mugu.
Per- Perfect. So you are at China Lake, Point Mugu. Tell us where NOC WD is kind of lies.
You bet. So as we both were just chatting, NOC-WD is one command with two campuses. Our two campuses are Point Mugu and China Lake, which are both in California. China Lake is about 150 miles northeast or so of Los Angeles. We're in the Mojave Desert. Talked about the heat. Uh,
Mhm.
China Lake is actually the Navy's largest single land holding and represents about 85% of Navy's land for RDT&E. So big, isolated place. To kind of give you an example of how we take advantage of big and isolated is we call it a laboratory called the CLIP. It's the China Lake Propulsion Lab, and it's not really a laboratory. It's 100 square miles of outdoor laboratory and indoor facilities where we perform everything from basic and applied research to ordnance assessment and surveillance for rocket motors, warheads, fusing initiation devices. We have a large organic capability in this regard. And to give you an example, we formulate, cast, and build solid rocket motors and warheads here. And because we've got the benefit of so much of that unencroached land space. We also perform multiple tests with live energetics, anything from very small scale advanced energetic materials in the research arena that we measure in grams, all the way to very large scale, upwards of, almost 100,000 pounds of energetic material.
Wow.
So pretty cool stuff. So that's just the energetics piece. Now we expand out. The China Lake, our range here, the China Lake range is a fully instrumented test and evaluation range, encompasses more than 1.1 million acres, which is just under 2,000 square miles of the land mass. And then on top of that, literally on top of that, we've got 20,000 square miles of restricted airspace overhead. So that allows us to do the full scale development and test of weapons and advanced sensors, all within our range complex. And yes, we can and absolutely do launch live ordnance and blow things up.
Yeah.
Now we go over to the coast at Point Mugu. So Point Mugu is about an hour's drive north of LA when the traffic's good, on the coast in Ventura County. Point Mugu really is our premier laboratory for development and integration of electronic warfare and cyber effects. We have got literally world-class expertise and one-of-a-kind facilities for the development of airborne electronic attack and jamming techniques, which is really a specialty area, as well as many other aspects of electronic warfare to include sensing and countermeasures and the like. Also at Point Mugu, which really is an absolute jewel for the Navy, is the Point Mugu Sea Range. The Sea Range comprises about 36,000 square miles, fully instrumented range space, as well as San Nicolas Island, which is about 30 to 40 miles off the coast, and it's owned by the Navy. So this really unique range, it hosts numerous full-scale test and evaluation events for air launch weapons, surface launch weapons, very, very highly complex large force exercise, and a lot of fleet training. It's really quite amazing.
Wow, that's incredible. Thank you, Joan. We really appreciate you coming on today.
Sure.
And now you guys know a little bit more about NAWCWD and what they do.